I hadn't seen the orchard in over 20 years. When I stepped out of the truck, the air smelled the same, wet leaves. Faint smoke, old apples turning to mush in the grass. The tire swing still hung from the dead oak, like something that had forgotten how to fall. My father was dead, that's why I came back. He didn't die here, it was a hospital 3 towns over. Sterile, beeping, clinical, but this house, this patch of land, was the last thing he held onto. He left it to me, and with it, a single envelope containing the deed, the keys, and a handwritten note in his familiar blocky script. Don't stay overnight, and if you hear her knock, don't answer the window. I almost laughed, my father wasn't one for fantasy. But that line sat in my chest like a stone. The attic had always unsettled me as a child. My father never let me go up there. Too drafty, he'd say, mice. Now I stood in the dust-choked light, staring at the round attic window that faced the orchard. It looked like an eye always had. That first night I couldn't sleep. The wind moved through the orchard in fits and starts. Around 3 in the morning, I heard the knock. Not on the door, not on the walls, on the attic window. Tap, tap. It sounded deliberate, a soft, patient knock, not hurried, not violent. Just aware, I didn't move. I sat in the living room until dawn. Too scared to climb the attic stairs, too stubborn to leave. The next day I found an old newspaper clipping in the cellar. Folded into a book of receipts, it was yellow and brittle. Local girl missing, Clara Maddox. Age 16, vanished from the Grey Orchard house in 1953. She had worked the orchard, a seasonal hire. Gone one night without a trace. In the margin, in my father's hand. She never left. That night I heard the knock again. I nailed the attic door shut. It didn't matter. The next morning the window was open. The nails were still in the attic door. But the footprints on the attic floor were wet, small, bare. I started leaving the house during the nights. Sitting in the truck with the heat on. Parked down the road, sometimes I saw a light move past the attic window from a distance, just a flicker. Eventually I found a letter under a loose floorboard in my father's room, addressed to me. She isn't a ghost, she's hunger. She's what we forgot, what we let go cold and quiet. She knocks because it's polite. But if you answer, even with grief, she's inside. I remember the night I said something to her. It was a mistake. I stood at the foot of the attic stairs, staring up at that round window glowing faintly with frost, and whispered, "You took him, didn't you?" Everything in the house went still. The refrigerator hummed to silence. The wind died, and slowly the attic door creaked, though I hadn't unsealed it. I tried to leave the next day. Got halfway down the highway before I saw her, standing in the median. Soaked hair stuck to her face. Mouth wide open but silent, she didn't follow. But when I returned to the house, the mirror in the hall had cracked in a ring around my reflection. I started sleeping in the attic. I stopped hearing birds.